Hello gamers, it's Tom Sidener, the Lonely Gamer, and today we are going to look at the game Oceanos. That's a game by Antoine Bauza, and it's put out by Iello games. So let's take a look. The first thing I want to talk about is just the overall look of this game. It's an absolutely beautiful game. The artwork on the cover of this box is representative of the artwork that you get on all of the components within the game. It may look like a kid's game from the artwork, but it is a very fun and a very strategic game. So I'm going to open this up and I'll show you how it plays. So the first thing in this game, it is a 5-player game. So this game is based on these different submarines. Each submarine has 3 different levels, and each submarine has 5 different parts. And we'll go over what the different parts are, and we'll also go over the different levels. So right here you will see a level 1 submarine and all of the parts that are associated with it. So this is your diver bay. This denotes how many divers that you can have in your submarine. This is your zoo bay, or your bay where you can see different animals, and it shows you the max number of animals that you can see, and in this case it is 3. This is your fuel tank, and it shows you how many fuel you can have within your submarine, and in this case it is 1. This is your propeller, and it's for your propulsion, and the level 1 propulsion gives you 0 points. And this is your cockpit, and your cockpit has periscopes, and the number of cards that you get to look at each turn is based on the number of periscopes you have plus 1. So this is a level 1 submarine. So for each one of the different components of the submarine, you have a level 2 and a level 3. The level is denoted by a little dot on the different parts. So here you can see a single dot to denote that that's a level 1. It also has dots on the back to denote the level, and it also has a color on the back so you know which parts go to which submarine. This would be a level 2 diver bay. There's the 2 dots there, the 2 dots on the back. You would replace this with this one if you upgrade your submarine. So that would be a level 1 submarine with a level 2 diver bay. All of the parts can go from level 1 to level 2 and from level 2 to level 3. So I'm just going to show you the different parts. So the diver bays, the second level you get 2 divers, and the third level you get 3 divers. So there's a 3 diver bay. All of the submarines look different, but they all have these same characteristics. So even though the pictures are different, they have the same characteristics. So there's your diver bays. Then you have your animal zoo, or your viewing area, and level 2 has 5, so you can see 5 animals is the max, and level 3 is 8, so you get 8 max animals in level 3, and this will make a lot more sense when we talk about how the game is played. Then your fuel tanks, this is level 2, has 2 fuel tanks, and this is level 3, and it has 3 fuel tanks. Your cockpits change by periscope, so this is a level 2 cockpit, and it has 2 periscopes, so you would get 3 cards per round. And this is a level 3 cockpit which has 3 periscopes, and you would get 4 cards per round. And your propellers, this is a level 2 which will give you 2 points at the end of each round, and this is a level 3 propeller which will give you 5 points at the end of each round. And that's it. So each submarine has the same 5 sections and also has the same 3 levels for each component. So now that we know about the submarines, let's look at how the game is played. Okay, so at the beginning of each game, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the Kraken tokens, which look like these. There's 3 different levels. There's small Krakens, medium Krakens, and large Krakens. And you're going to mix them up, and then you're going to pick one of each level. The different levels have different penalties on them. So in the first level you could have 0, 1, or -2. You could have -1, -2, or -3 in the second level, and you can have -2, -3, and -4 in the third level. And these seem like small numbers, but in this game you don't get a lot of points. So a -4 can be devastating. It can definitely lose you the game. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to mix up all of the Kraken tokens, so you don't know what they are, and then you're going to select a large one and a medium one. You're going to stack that on top, and a small one, and you're going to stack that on top. And these are going to be the Kraken tokens that you're going to use for the game. I'm going to set these over here, and then I'm going to put these back in the box for the next game. Do not look at these, because you don't want to know by process of elimination what is underneath these. Each player is going to start with their level 1 submarine. Therefore, they are going to start with a single fuel token and a single diver token. They're also going to keep all the pieces of their submarines available, so that when they're ready to upgrade, they'll be readily available and they can replace the part in their submarine. The game is played in 3 rounds based on 5 turns, and each round has a deck of cards that goes with that round. This is the round 1 cards, so it has a big 1 on it. These are the round 2 cards, they have a 2 on them. And these are the round 3 cards, and they have a 3 on them. We are going to assume in this example that we are going to play a 3-player game. There is the availability to play a 2-player game, and there's a little bit of a difference in the way that you deal out the cards, but we're going to talk about the 3-player game, and then you can look in the book for the 2-player variant. It's not that much difference. But in a 3 to 5-player game, what you're going to do is one person is going to be the captain, and the captain is going to go ahead and deal out cards to each player based on their cockpit. So the periscope +1. So we're going to assume that we're starting the game and everybody has a single cockpit. So we're going to deal out 2 cards to each player, but we're not going to deal any cards to the captain. So in the 3-player game, you would have 2 cards go to player 2 and 2 cards go to player 3. The players would then pick up the cards and look at them and determine which cards they want to keep. They can keep both of them if they have a fuel, because a fuel allows you to play an extra card on your turn. So let's say I decided that I did want to keep both of these, so I would keep both of these as player 3. And let's say player 2 decided that he wanted to only keep 1. So any cards you don't want to keep, you give to the captain. So the captain gets those cards. Now, if the captain gets cards so that they don't have as many as they should have, so in this case I'm the captain, I have 1 periscope, so that's 1 + 1, so that'd be 2 cards, and I only got 1 card from the other player, then I get to draw a card from the stack to make sure that I have at least the minimum cards that I should have. But in the case where the captain would get more cards than they were supposed to have, then that's just a benefit for the captain. So once everybody has their cards that they're going to play, you start with the captain, and the captain plays the cards that he wants to play and discards any cards that he does not. So let's say as the captain, I decide to play this card here. Alright? What you do is you play the cards down in front of you, and what you're doing is you're creating an ocean. So on this card that I played, I have a treasure chest right here. I have a creature that I can see, and I have a kraken symbol. So the treasure chest, at the point that I play this card, I have to decide if I want to put a diver on this treasure chest. Now this is the first round, so I'm probably not going to put a diver on that treasure chest. I'm going to wait and hold out, and I'm going to try to get some treasure chests below this card so that my diver can pick up multiple treasure chests whenever the game ends. I will get to see this animal, and since my animal zoo has a 3, I can see 2 other animals as well, so that's going to be good for me. And then the Kraken token is going to be based on the other players, and the person with the most Kraken tokens actually has to take the Kraken token, which could be negative points at the end of the round. So I'm going to play my card down. Then the other players are going to play their cards down, so they're going to lay them down. And this person picked 2, so they'd have to lay theirs 2. They can lay it in any order they want, but they're going to lay theirs down. And they have to put a fuel token onto their card that they played that is beyond the actual one card per turn. Alright, so that was turn 1. We go to turn 2, we do the same thing. So the captain is going to deal out the cards. The players are going to decide what cards they want. Anything they don't want, they're going to give to the captain. So this time the captain gave me 2 cards, so I don't get to draw a card. And so now I will select and place my cards. So I am going to place, I have 2 cards, as you can see. I am going to place this card here, the one with the whale, because I already can see this creature, and seeing another one of these creatures is not going to benefit me because you only get points for different creatures you see. Both of these cards have a gem on them. The whale card has a green gem and the shark card has a yellow gem. Because my submarine is at level 1, I do not need 2 different gems. If I was trying to take my submarine from a level 2 to a level 3, I would need both of these gems plus an upgrade pod in order to upgrade my submarine. But in this case, my submarine, everything is at 1. I don't need 2 gems. I don't need this creature that I've already seen. So I'm going to go ahead and play this creature. So I'm going to go ahead and play that down. I'm not going to use my fuel. I'm just going to discard this card. And the other players are going to do the same. So they're going to play their cards. And then we are going to go to the next round. So, one thing I forgot to mention previously is each round a new person would become the captain. So the first round I was the captain. The second round player 2 should have been the captain. And this round player 3 will be the captain. The captain is going to deal cards to each player. I'm going to decide what cards I want or do not want. I'm going to keep this card and I'm going to give this card to the captain. This person is going to keep a card and give this card to the captain. And then starting with the captain, he's going to play his cards and then I'm going to play my card. I've decided to play this card. It has a new creature on it and another treasure chest. I am not going to put my diver on that treasure chest at this time. Now at this point in the game, we can tell that we've gone through 3 turns because in order to determine how many turns you've gone through, you count the number of cards that do not have fuel tokens on them. So in this case, I have 3 cards. We've taken 3 turns. This guy has 4 cards, but one of them has a fuel token on it, so we have taken 3 turns. All right. So now it has come back around. I am now the captain again, so I'm going to deal out the cards to the other players. They're going to decide what they want, and they are going to give me what they don't want. I'm going to look at my cards and I'm going to decide that I want to play this card. This card has a creature on it that I have not seen. It has a kraken, which is a bad thing, but it also has an upgrade pod. Now, once I play this creature that I have not seen, I'm going to have 4 creatures that I have not seen. And my limit is 3 on here. But the great thing is this is going to give me an upgrade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this card along with my gem that I played earlier, and I'm going to be allowed to have an upgrade. Now, once you play this card and you use this gem cannot be used for another upgrade. So it really, what it is it's from this direction to this direction. So gem, upgrade, and you can continue to upgrade your sub. When you want to go from a level 2 upgrade part to a level 3, you have to have green gem, yellow gem, upgrade. Green gem, yellow gem, upgrade. It's much harder to upgrade your sub. But at this point, I'm going to play this card. I'm going to discard this card. This is going to allow me to do an upgrade because I have a green gem here and I have an upgrade here. And since I have 4 animals out here and I want to be able to see them all for scoring, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my animal zoo in the middle here. So I'm going to take it from a 3 to a 5, and I now have a maximum of 5 animals that I can see. So now these 4 different animals are going to give me 8 points instead of 6 points, which was my max with the 3. And I could actually go up to 10 points if I can find that many animals. Alright, so we go to the next round. These guys are going to play their cards. player 1 is now the captain, so there he's going to deal out 2 cards to everybody. We're going to choose our cards, and we're going to go on. Now this is the 5th and final turn of the round. So if I want to use my fuel, I have to do it at this point, and I will go ahead and use my fuel. It's going to kind of be wasted on the cards that I have, but I'm going to go ahead and play it anyway. I'm going to go ahead and play this card. It has a gem, a treasure chest, and a Kraken symbol. I'm getting a lot of Kraken symbols, so I'm probably going to get stuck with the Kraken. And then I'm going to use my fuel to play this card. Now this card has a coral on it and an upgrade. This upgrade is going to work with this gem that I just played. If I didn't have this upgrade, it wouldn't matter, because at the end of each round you do get an upgrade, but in this case I want to play it for this coral because I don't have any coral yet. And coral will give you points at the end of the game based on how many coral touch each other in card form. So at this point I would have 1, but if I can link other coral cards onto it, then I'm going to get more points. And it's your largest coral bank, so if you have 2 sections where you have coral touching each other, it's the one that has the most number of coral in it. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. This is going to give me another upgrade, and I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my propeller. My propeller is currently 0, but I'm going to upgrade that to 2. And I have to play my fuel on the second card that I played, and that will end the round. At the end of the round, there is a cardboard token that you put at the end of your line. This cardboard token has 2 sides. It has a side for the first and second round, and then a side for the third round. We are in the first round, so we're going to play it this way. And what it does is it tells you the scoring. So the first thing it does is it allows you to upgrade. It's got an upgrade pod on it, so it allows you to upgrade if you had a gem between the last upgrade and this upgrade. And in my case I do not, because the last card I played had a upgrade pod on it, so I have no gem in between, so I will not get an upgrade with this. But if you played a gem in your last turn, or somewhere in there where you haven't upgraded, then you would get to upgrade with this card. So the first thing you do when you play this is you go ahead and upgrade if you have the ability. The next thing you do is score. Now there is a score pad, and you write down the name of each person at the top, and then there's a score for round 1, a score for round 2, a score for round 3. There's a score for the coral at the end of the game, and there's a score for treasure chests at the end of the game. So these 2 do not score until the end of the game, and that is also noted on this card here. This card says that you score for animals, you score for your submarine propeller, and you score for Kraken. So the first thing we're going to do is score for animals. So for me, I can see 5 animals, and I have 4 different animals on here, so I would receive 8 points for my animals. For my propeller is now worth 2 because I upgraded it, so I would get 2 points for my propeller. And then I have the most Kraken symbols, so I take the Kraken token, I turn it over, it's -1, so my score goes down to 7 points. So my score would be 7 points for this round. I would go ahead and write down 7 points in this location here, and we would move on to the next round. I'm going to remove these players for the next few rounds so you can just see what one player looks like, because we're going to run out of real estate here, and we'll move on. Just remember, everybody does the same thing in the next rounds. So at the end of the round, you also at the bottom of this says you get your fuel back. So you put your fuel back, and then you get ready to start the next round. The next round works the same way. You rotate the captain. You start with one person, that person's the captain, and then it goes around each turn. Somebody else gets to be the captain, and you just go clockwise doing that. So I have not upgraded my periscope. So if I was the captain, I would deal out cards. If somebody had upgraded their periscope, that person might get 3 cards. This person might get 4 cards. Let's say they've upgraded their periscope to the highest level, and I would be the captain. I wouldn't get anything. And so then this person might say that they only want 1 card and give me these 2, and this person wants to keep 1 card this turn and give me 3. Now I have 5 cards. Now this is more cards than what I'm supposed to have, but that's just a bonus for the captain. Alright? So I'm going to decide what cards I want to play. I want to be able to upgrade eventually, so I'm going to play this one. This one has an animal. Now the animals reset for each round, so now this is a new animal. Even though I saw him in the first round, I get to see him again in the second round. This also has a green gem, and I want to be able to upgrade, so I'm going to play that card there. I also want to try to keep my to get my coral going, so I'm going to play something with coral on it. So I'm going to play this card as well. I'm going to have to use my fuel to do that, but I will get a coral. I do get a kraken, so it puts me closer to the kraken. I get another creature that I have not seen, and I get an upgrade pod. So I'm going to go ahead and play that down. So I have one gem and an upgrade pod. I have to use my fuel to play this second card, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and upgrade, and I'm going to upgrade my fuel. Now I'm going from a 1 to a 2, so I only need one gem. I'm going to put this here. When I upgrade my fuel here, then I actually get to add a fuel to my fuel pod. So now I have 2 fuel, so during the round I can play 2 extra cards. Alright, so then we go to the next turn. This person here is now the captain, so they are going to deal out the cards. I only get 2 cards. I'm going to look at my cards and determine if I want to keep them both or if I want to get rid of any. I'm going to go ahead and keep both of my cards. This person is going to keep 1 card. He's going to give these to the captain. The captain has 3 cards, and we determined that he had 3 periscopes, so he doesn't get to draw any cards. If he had had less cards than what he should have been getting, he would draw from the stack. I'm going to play both of my cards. I'm going to play a gem. I'm going to actually play this one first. I'm going to play a treasure, and I'm playing it here because I have a treasure above it, and when I play my diver, if I put him on a treasure, he gets to pick up all treasures that are in his line. Alright? So it's kind of a push your luck type of thing. I want to really play him down here so I can pick up 3 or more treasures. So I am not going to play him right now. You have to make the decision to play your diver when you play a treasure card. So if I don't play it now, I don't get to, and I take my chances on the last level, which is what I'm going to do. I'm also going to play this card because it has a gem on it, and I'm going to play my fuel to be able to play that. That's the end of the round. These guys would play their card, and then it would go to the next turn. And this guy would now be the captain, so he would deal out cards to this player and me. I'm going to look at my cards. Now, I can no longer play an extra card because I've used both my fuel, so I have to keep the cards that I have. So, in this case, I've got a card that has some coral on it, which I would like to play the coral, but it's got a creature I've already seen, so that's not going to help me. I also have one with 2 creatures, but one of them I've already seen. So I'm going to opt to keep the coral card, and I'm going to give the captain my card that I didn't want. This guy's going to keep the cards he wants and give the captain cards, and then I'm going to play, and I'm going to hope to get a coral to play under here so that I can tie these coral together. Now, we have actually played 3 rounds, even though I have 5 cards, because 2 of my cards have fuel on them, so we've played 3 rounds, and so we go to the next round. So for the next round, I am just going to pick cards. You already know how the actual cards go, and so I'm just going to finish up the round just to show you a few things. So I would play, this card would be a good card for me to play right here. I already have seen this animal, but I want this other gem. Now this is a yellow gem, and I already have a green gem here. So if I play this, and then I play an upgrade pod, something like this, now I can upgrade from a level 2 to a level 3 because I have a green gem in my lineup, I have a yellow gem in my lineup, and I have an upgrade pod, which is right here. So now I can actually take my fuel from a level 2 to a level 3. So the good thing is this will give me a fuel immediately, so I'll be able to use this round, so I can actually play one more card. Okay, I'm going to go to my next. So currently I've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. That actually would be the end of the round. I got my fuel on the 5th card, so I will not be able to play it this turn. And then we would take our scoring thing, we would put it on the end. I do not have a gem in between these 2 pods, so I cannot upgrade. I saw 1, 2, 3, 4 different animals, so that would be 8 points. I have a number 2 propeller, that would be another 2 points, so that would give me 10 points. And then I picked the Kraken, and I got a -1, so my points would go down to 9 points. And then we would move to the next 3rd and final round. The 3rd and final round is played the exact same way. We deal out cards. We use the captain drafting method. You get your cards. This time I will actually get to play 3 extra cards because I have 3 fuel. I probably want to look to upgrade some stuff, and I want to see as many animals as I can, but I also want to try to get a treasure chest under here. I want to try to attach my coral. Now right now I've only got this coral, which isn't attached to anything, this coral, which isn't attached to anything, because they have to be attached. They cannot be attached diagonally. They have to be attached orthogonally. So so what I really need to do is get some coral down here to attach all these together if I can. So I'm going to go ahead and just play some cards down here just to kind of give you an idea. This card gives you 2 creatures that you can see, and one other thing I would note is some creatures are large and some creatures are small. The large creatures are rarer than the small creatures, so there are more of the small creatures on cards than the large creatures. So if you have to decide between a large creature and a small creature, it's better to choose the larger creature because you're not going to see those as much. So I'm going to go ahead and play that down there. I really want to upgrade my ship, so I'm going to play this here. Now of course you wouldn't be looking through the cards to decide what you're going to play, but I want to play certain cards so I can just show you at the end of the game how the scoring goes. But I got lucky, let's say, and I play a treasure chest there. At this point I can decide to put my diver on. I'm going to put him here. Now he's going to be able to pick up all the treasures that are above him. So if you have played it here, even if you had a treasure down here, he only goes up. So he only goes up to the surface, so you could not get this treasure. You'd have to play it here to actually get that treasure. I'm going to play this card here. This is a yellow gem, and it's going to give me a green and a yellow gem. So now I could actually play an upgrade pod, and that will let me upgrade something from level 2 to 3. So I'm going to upgrade my propeller. That'll give me 5 points at the end of the round. Put that on there. And then I'm going to try to get as much coral as I can, because that way I can tie these corals together. And let's say along the way I played a fuel here. I'm going to play a gem here. And I've got another fuel, so I'll play this here with my last card as a... I'm going to switch these around. Well, anyway, so this is what an end of game tableau may look like. We go ahead and score the last round. So in this round I saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I saw 7 different animals, and so I can only see 5. If I had upgraded my zoo to the 3rd level, I would have been able to see 8, and I would have got 14 points for this. But because I only have a 5, I get 10 points. So I have 10 points for animals. The next thing is my propeller. I did upgrade that, so I get 5 points for that. So that'll be 15 points. Let's say this time I did not have the most Krakens. Let's say some other player did, so they would have to take the Kraken. And if they took the Kraken, that's a -4. See, that's a big deduction on the Kraken. I do get an upgrade at the end, and I do have one gem here for an upgrade, so I could upgrade something, but nothing that I upgrade is going to help me in the end. The only thing that would help me in the end would be the propeller. Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, and I can't upgrade the zoo because it's a level 2. To go to a level 3, I would have needed 2 gems in here, but if I had had another gem in there, I could have upgraded that to the level 2. So then we score that round just like we did the first 3 rounds, and then we move to the other scoring, and the other scoring is the coral. So in this case, I was able to string together some coral. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 coral that are strung together. I also have 2 here, but the 8 is more, so I'm going to take the 8, and so then I would write 8 on here, so I would get 8 for my coral. This one does not count because it is not attached orthonically. It is diagonal, and that doesn't count. So I would get 8 for my coral. And then I would also get, since I put my diver here at the bottom, he's going to pick up all 3 chests all the way to the top. And I would get to draw 3 treasures out of the bag. So I will draw 3 treasures for my diver. These range from 2 to 4 on the score. And so you can see I got a 4, a 2, and a 3, so that's 9, and so 9 would go under my treasure score, and then I would calculate all 3 rounds, my coral score, and my treasure score to get my total score, and the person with the highest total score wins. And that's it. That's how you play Oceanos. It's a great game. It's a beautiful game. It's a great game for younger players, and it's also a good game for older players. I played it with a bunch of adults and they loved it, and I played it with some kids and they loved it. So really good game, beautiful game, fun game. I hope that helps you make the decision on whether you like this game. If you have any questions, always just leave them in the comments below. If I've told a wrong rule, I will say that the rule book on this was a little iffy, and it was kind of, it wasn't really all that good at explaining, especially when it came to the drafting of the cards. But I'm assuming that we're playing it right. If for some reason you think that we're not, just leave those comments below. If you have any questions, leave those comments below. And I really like this game. The only negative I have to say about this game is that some of the puzzle pieces don't fit together that well, and you have to kind of force them in. But I think after playing it for a while, those will kind of loosen up and things will fit a little better. Other than that, I have no bad things to say about this game. I give this game 2 thumbs up. So go check this game out, and until I see you again, happy gaming.